in some history books. In the Quran, Pharaoh says, "Aren't I the ruler of Mis, and these rivers are running beneath me, can't you see?" If we refer here to Egypt, Lower Mis, as we know it today, it is only one river, the Nile. Nevertheless, the Quran is referring to Upper Mis, which has many rivers. This again implies that the story of Moses and Pharaoh took place in Upper Mis or northern Sudan. The river Al-Yam, the second location mentioned in Moses and Pharaoh's story, refers to where Pharaoh sunk with his army. Another reference to Al-Yam is where Moses' mother sent him afloat in a basket when God ordered her to do so to save him from the soldiers of the Pharaoh. At the beginning of Surat Taha, God says to Moses' mother, "And put him in the coffin and throw him in Al-Yam," referring her to the river. In the same chapter, towards the end of the story of Moses and Pharaoh, God says, "And the Pharaoh and his soldiers followed them, and they've seen from Al-Yam what they've seen." So while we agree that Moses at the beginning of the story was thrown in Al-Yam and the Pharaoh at the end of the story sunk in Al-Yam, we associate two meanings to Al-Yam. We claim that the first Al-Yam is the River Nile and contradict ourselves by saying that the second Al-Yam refers to the Red Sea, where the Pharaoh and his army supposedly met their fate. Wrong. Both instances refer to the river where Moses was left as a child and the place where the Pharaoh and his army sunk beneath the waters.
It's clear that Al-Yam in the Quran refers to the same location, which is the River Nile, specifically the part of the Nile in northern Sudan. In fact, the word yam linguistically means water as a source of life and food, and it was used to refer to the Nile Valley in this region, starting from the 4th cataract to the 6th cataract. This area, Yam, is one of the most fertile areas in the Nile Valley and is now called Shendi Branch, where the Nile starts to become wider and with lower fertile banks. Obviously, you're beginning to question here, what about the verses in Quran that explain Moses crossing the sea and the fatal ending of Pharaoh and his army beneath the waters? The Quran says, "And as we parted the sea, and we rescued you and sunk Pharaoh and his followers while you were wandering."
Let's address this. The Quran was revealed in Lesson Arabic, so they understand. Arabs use the word bahra for sea or for any large body of water like oceans, seas, rivers, lakes, etc. For example, in Surat Al-Furqan, "And he who combined water from both seas, one is fresh and drinkable, and the other is salty and not drinkable, and made between them isthmus and carved rocks." Similarly, "And the two seas are not equal. This is fresh and drinkable, and this is salty and not drinkable." The Quran here is clearly referring to the sea as a big body of fresh or salty water, whether it's actually a river or a sea.